Donald Trump's recent military parade celebration for his birthday stood in stark contrast to the growing protests across the country, where crowds chanted "No Kings," a powerful rejection of authoritarian leadership and overbearing government control. While Trump revelled in a spectacle of power, clad in his signature red hat and flanked by troops, the scene eerily echoed the Hopi prophecy of the Pahana, a false saviour who would wear red and promise greatness while leading people astray. The Hopi warned of a time when such a figure would rise, bringing division and hollow displays of strength, just as protesters now rally against corruption and oppressive rule. The symbolism is uncanny. As Trump stages his militaristic pageantry, the people rise in defiance, demanding true justice and democracy. The prophecy speaks of a choice between deception and awakening, and as the chants of "No Kings" grow louder, it seems the nation may be reaching a moment of reckoning, just as the Hopi foresaw. The Hopi prophecy speaks of a pivotal time marked by the arrival of a mysterious figure in a red cap, accompanied by two symbolic helpers and a force from the West. These archetypes have captured imaginations for generations, raising questions about who they might represent today and what their appearance could mean for our world. Commentators first drew a connection between the prophecy and Donald Trump in a 1970s video, noting the striking similarity between Trump's signature red cap and the figure described by Hopi elders. Others see deeper spiritual symbolism behind these characters. In this video, we'll introduce the man in the red cap, his two symbolic helpers, and the destructive force from the West, then explore possible modern parallels. Stay with us to discover which modern figure might wear the red cap and whether history is repeating itself, the true white brother and his red cap. Among the most intriguing figures in Hopi tradition is the true white brother, a character whose arrival signals profound change. According to the prophecy, recorded by Hopi spiritual leader Thomas Banyartsia at the United Nations in 1971, this individual is marked by a red cap or cloak and will bring the sacred stone tablets, ancient objects said to contain knowledge and wisdom meant to guide humanity. The prophecy describes him as all-powerful, but his influence is not predetermined. Instead, it depends on how people respond to the wisdom he offers. The detail of the red cap has sparked widespread speculation. Some see a literal connection to modern leaders. Most notably, the parallel emerged because Trump's MAGA caps echo the prophecy's red cap. But Hopi elders emphasize the symbol could point to entirely different qualities than a political slogan. Others interpret the red cap as a metaphor, suggesting it could symbolize a spiritual awakening, a warning about unchecked power, or the arrival of transformative energy. The prophecy itself avoids naming any individual, leaving space for debate and introspection. Thomas Banyartsia, who spent decades sharing the Hopi message, taught that the man's power depends on humanity's response. The sacred stone tablets he brings are not simply relics. They represent teachings that could lead to progress and enlightenment if embraced, or chaos and destruction if ignored. This dynamic underscores the prophecy's core message. The outcome is not solely in the hands of this leader, but in the collective choices of society. The symbolism of the red cap is layered. In Hopi tradition, red can stand for life, strength, and warning, while in modern politics, it is often associated with power, rebellion, or danger. Whether the prophecy refers to a literal hat or a symbolic mantle of influence remains open to interpretation. What is clear is that the arrival of the true white brother is meant to challenge and inspire humanity to make critical choices at a turning point. Historical prophecies often describe pivotal figures who appear during moments of upheaval, offering new knowledge that can either heal divisions or deepen them. The Hopi vision is no different. The sacred tablets are an invitation, not a guarantee. What happens next depends on how that invitation is received. Before we speculate further, let's meet his two symbolic aids, each carrying a powerful sign that may hold the key to understanding the prophecy's fulfillment. No Kings is trending as people protest oppressive leaders. Do you think Trump's cult-like following fits the Hopi prophecy's warning? In the Hopi prophecy, the two helpers who accompany the true white brother are each identified by powerful symbols, the swastika and the sun. These are not arbitrary choices. According to Thomas Banyatia, the swastika, which the Hopi describe as an X, appears on ground rattles used in Kachina ceremonies. In this context, the swastika stands for purity and the female principle, the source of all life and creation. Long before its meaning was corrupted in the 20th century, this symbol represented life-giving energy and the potential for renewal. For the Hopi, it is a sacred sign, deeply woven into ceremony and tradition, reminding people to honour the forces that sustain the world. Could X, Elon Musk, and his growing alliance with Trump be part of the prophecy? The sun symbol, carried by the second helper, holds a similarly profound meaning. Banyatia emphasised that the sun symbol's role in Kachina rattles links it to cyclical renewal and spiritual enlightenment. In the Hopi worldview, the sun is not just a source of physical warmth, but a beacon of wisdom and transformation. The helper associated with the sun is said to bring knowledge and light to a world on the brink of change, challenging humanity to use newfound understanding for the betterment of all. Both helpers are described in the prophecy as wise and powerful, capable of producing many inventions. They are not passive figures. Rather, they are agents of change who, according to Banyatia's 1971 account, will shake up this world 2 times. This phrase suggests a dual warning, moments of upheaval or innovation that could either awaken society or push it further off course. Some modern commentators view the helper's dual warnings as analogous to innovations like social media, capable of connection and division, depending on how they are used. The prophecy underscores that these helpers operate together, the swastika's creative force balancing the sun's illuminating power. Their presence marks a crossroads. The swastika helper asks if we can see beyond surface-level stigma to recognise ancient wisdom, while the sun helper urges us to use knowledge responsibly. Their inventions and teachings are offered as opportunities, but if humanity ignores their warnings, the prophecy says the next phase unlocks a sweeping destructive force. The tension between these choices sets the stage for what comes next. A vision in the prophecy that is both vivid and unsettling. In Banyatia's own words, they will come like red ants and cover the land in one day. The Hopi prophecy's vision of a figure from the West is not a vague warning, but a striking image of a force arriving with overwhelming speed and numbers. This entity, described as possessing advanced scientific abilities and a vast population, sweeps across the land without mercy, leaving little room for resistance. The red ants aren't just a symbol of invasion, they represent total saturation, a force that occupies every space, moving so quickly that the usual defences become useless. Hopi elders emphasise that this is not a conventional military threat. Banyatia specifically contrasted this force with traditional warfare, describing it as something that arrives all at once like a storm rather than through gradual conquest. The metaphor of red ants evokes a relentless, organised and unyielding presence. While some researchers draw parallels between the prophecy's swarm and the rapid technological expansion of global powers, the Hopi focus on the experience of being overwhelmed, of losing control to something vast and impersonal. The red colour in the prophecy's imagery underscores a sense of danger and urgency. The figure from the West is not just another challenger, it is a catalyst for destruction that emerges when balance is lost. The prophecy describes this force as capable of seizing control in a single day, signalling the suddenness and unpredictability of the threat. It's a reminder that change can arrive faster than anyone expects, and that the consequences of ignoring spiritual and communal responsibilities may be severe. Throughout history, cultures have told stories about destructive forces that appear when wisdom is ignored or traditions are broken. The Hopi prophecy stands out for its clarity about how quickly the world can shift, and for its insistence that such outcomes are not inevitable. The presence of the red ants is a sign, not a sentence. The prophecy warns that this Western force only emerges if the red-capped brother and his helpers fail to restore balance. As these warnings echo through time, the question remains, what happens if the call for renewal is ignored? The Hopi vision points not to an end, but to a turning point, one that sets the stage for what they call the time of purification. The time of purification. During this period, the Hopi prophecy describes a deep process of transformation known as the time of purification. This is not simply destruction, but a cleansing meant to restore balance and offer a chance for renewal. The Earth's warnings, polluted skies, toxic rivers, and failing crops signal that humanity has lost its way. Hopi elder Thomas Banyatsia warned, pollution of land, air, and rivers signifies the world straying from balance. These signs are not just environmental, but spiritual, urging people to recognize the consequences of neglecting harmony. The challenges are not only in nature. The prophecy also points to social unraveling as a marker of purification. Elder Paul Sifke observed, all we do is have a weapon pointed at one another, signaling social breakdown and the erosion of trust. The Hopi see this loss of moral and ethical grounding, values fading, communities divided, and spiritual disconnection as key indicators that the time of purification is underway. Yet, the Hopi teachings do not dwell on despair. They offer a path forward grounded in tradition and responsibility. For generations, the Hopi have practiced environmental stewardship, taking only what is needed, respecting water as sacred, and treating the earth as a living relative. Ceremonies and prayers are not empty rituals, but active ways to maintain balance and remember what truly sustains life. When faced with drought or hardship, the Hopi look inward, asking how their actions might have disrupted harmony and what can be done to restore it. One of the most urgent warnings from the prophecy concerns technology's potential for destruction. Banyatsia spoke of a weapon he called a gourd full of ashes, small but powerful enough to boil oceans and burn everything to ashes, a clear reference to the hydrogen bomb. According to Hopi teaching, the issue is not technology itself, but whether humanity has developed the wisdom to wield it safely. The prophecy urges caution, reminding us that unchecked advancement without spiritual grounding can lead to self-destruction. Importantly, the outcome of the time of purification is not fixed. The Hopi emphasize that humanity's choices will determine whether this period brings collapse or renewal. Elders urge community ceremonies and environmental stewardship as active steps toward restoration. The question remains, will we heed these warnings and choose the path of harmony before purification sweeps through? With these teachings in mind, we're left to consider what it means to truly listen, to search for spiritual instructions and recognize the signs around us. As Trump marches forward with his red-hatted rallies and Musk's X reshapes the digital landscape, the parallels to ancient warnings grow harder to ignore. Whether you see these events as mere coincidence, the unfolding of prophecy, or a dangerous convergence of power, one thing is clear. People are rising up, demanding freedom from oppressive systems. The Hopi spoke of a choice between deception and awakening. Now the question is, are we sleepwalking into tyranny? Or will the cry of no kings become the anthem of a new era? The future isn't just written in prophecies, it's shaped by those who refuse to bow. What do you think? Drop your take below. Is this destiny? Or can we still change the outcome?